Let's pick up where we left off. We're going to talk about using some of those custom things we were making to further restrict our searches. Let's start with something simple. Name underscore ID plus product underscore ID. And we'll go ahead and also select star so that we can see the data. And we'll name this total just so that we can refer to it a little bit more easily. When we run this, we see our data, but we also see a total, which is product ID plus name ID. But what happens if we want to see the totals and only the ones greater than 10? Well, let's try it with a where clause. Where total greater than 10. It didn't work. That's because the where is looking for the information before it's created, because we're creating it as part of the select. But we have a solution for that. Remember how we discussed there was a timing difference between where and having? Well, if we use having, that takes place after the select, and so now we get the results we expect. Results of only those greater than 10. Now, as you can see, there are different product IDs, and there's different instances of, say, product ID 7. So what if we wanted to know the total amount of all of product 7's entries? Well, we can do that with a command called sum. Go over here and type sum amount. We'll leave it named total. And we'll have to set this equal to product ID equal 7. Otherwise, we'll get a total of everything in amount. So we'll execute this. Oh no, it didn't work again. Well, that's because having doesn't have access to the information that's not created from the data. So this one needs to be aware. The basic policy is that if it's in the data already, use aware. If it's something you're creating as part of the query, use have it. Now when we execute it, you'll see that the total for all of those amounts is 13. Now let's say instead of sum, you wanted to find the average of the numbers. You can simply change sum to average, or AVG. When we run this, you'll see the average of those numbers is 3.2500. We could floor it or seal it if we wanted to round it off, but we've already seen that. Next, let's move on to something a little different. What if we had data that we knew was supposed to be entered in a particular length, but may have been entered inaccurately? How would we find the correct ones? Well, we can do that with the length command. Let's say select length, first name, as total for naming purposes, and we'll also select star so that we can see exactly what we're linking. And remember, because we're creating this in the query, this is going to be a having command, having total equal to 5. If we run this, then we only get the results where there are exactly 5 characters in the first name field. This is very handy if you need to validate data of a particular length. That covers most of the basic things. In the next video, we will cover how to use these data manipulations more efficiently and how to get multiple results with grouping. This has been brought to you by CreativeOnlineSchool.com.